Hello Capricorn, this is your 2016 annual forecast. So my lovely Capricorns, this is going to be a busy year with lots of things happening, all of which I'm going to outline. At the end of the video there will be a list of the important dates, so you can just relax, sit back and enjoy all the things that I'm going to share with you about this year that's coming. One of the things to share with you is that it's mainly going to be a cardinal year and a mutable year. You're a cardinal sign, and the cardinal signs are very much about taking action, being in charge and doing things your way. And mutable signs are all about change, flexibility, changing their minds, often the mutable signs, but also allowing for some flexibility in your plans so that you don't get too fixed, because there's very little fixed in the heavens this year ahead. That none of the eclipses are in fixed signs, none of the slow moving planets are in fixed signs. It's rather unusual, but what this does mean, Capricorns, is it gives you the opportunity as a cardinal sign to achieve a tremendous amount much more easily than you normally would, because there's nothing fixed and holding you down, and sometimes fixed signs can actually just hold you back from really moving onto something new. So let's break this down. Of course, we've got Pluto still in your cardinal sign, and many of you Capricorns have been going through, since 2008, some huge personal transformations. Now, it's still going on until about 2023-24, so we're in the middle of this process, but it's been wonderful for many of you, because you're really going to the depths of emotions and places that you've never been to before. But many of you Capricorns, I'm seeing you coming out on the other side better than ever, if you just allow yourselves not to have to work so hard for everything. I mean, I know there's a certain amount of working hard which is great and which we all need to do, but sometimes Capricorns, you do have a tendency to make things serious, and they don't have to be so serious. They can be a lot more fun this year with some of these aspects. So the other slow-moving planet that we've got in cardinal is Uranus, going to be in your 4th house until March of 2019. And Uranus, for many of you, has brought lots of changes in the home, to do with family. Some of you have moved. Maybe you're feeling unstable where you are, or feeling as though there's changes to your environment in one way or another. Some of you traveling, going off, coming back, going there. It's just a sense of, where should I be? I'm not quite sure where to be. Or there's just been a lot of physical changes within the home. Maybe renovations, repairs, things that just have to be done all of a sudden that you didn't expect. Equally, this Uranus energy can also bring you more freedom in your environment, more freedom to do more of the things that you want to do. So on March the 9th, we've got a solar eclipse happening in your 3rd house, joining Neptune. So Neptune here in this 3rd house for a while, until about 2023-4. And this new moon solar eclipse here is a wonderful time for learning something new, for meeting new friends, for writing, for communicating, anything connected with technology. And it's wonderful for networking, any kind of social networking. It's brilliant for, really good. Neptune there, you could meet some dream people, people that are just, wow, these are great people. Of course, Neptune, be careful if they sound too good to be true. Maybe they are, so there's just a little caution there. But Capricorn, usually for the most part, you're pretty cynical and usually quite careful. On March the 23rd, we've got a lunar eclipse happening here in Libra, in your 10th house. And this up here could be something coming to a culmination connected with your work. So maybe you've been working on something, and finally I get noticed, I get published, I get seen, I get appreciated, I get a contract, I get some business, I get a job. So this can be, as I said, something coming to a culmination. Do keep in mind that with the eclipses, you'll feel the energy of them very often a few weeks before, and it lasts for at least 6 months and sometimes even years afterwards. So be ready for some shining a light really on this house of career and seeing whether it's going in the direction you want it to be going in. Now, April the 18th, we have Mars going retrograde until the end of June. Now, Mars goes retrograde every couple of years, usually for about 80 days. So it starts out retrograde here in your 12th house, and on May the 28th, it goes into your 11th house until the end of June. So let me break this down for you just a little bit. So Saturn, your ruling planet here, Capricorn, in your 12th house until the end of 2017, and then it's going to go into your sign. And I think that's probably going to be one of the best things that can happen when Saturn comes into its home sign. Then it really is, it's going to do a lot of good things in this world. So we may have just a lot of things swirling around for this next couple of years while Saturn's in Sagittarius, especially connected with religion and beliefs and perspectives, and then coming into your sign, as I said, beginning of 2018. But meanwhile, for this next year in your 12th house, so many of you will be letting go of things. Letting go of the past, letting go of things you no longer need. Maybe it's time to have a bit of a decluttering. Capricorns, can you hold on to stuff. Really, stuff that you've had from your childhood sometimes. So maybe there needs to be a letting go, a releasing of things to free you up, so that you've got more space in your life, more of the things that you do want. You know, how many boxes have you got that you've just not looked in for years, or you've not looked at or worn or used? This is a great time for just freeing yourself. It's also a wonderful time for anything metaphysical. Really getting a handle on it. So if you want to go into complementary therapist, you want to be in the health and healing field, this would be a great time for making that real. Yes, maybe getting the certification, putting into place the structure for it. Maybe you want to be an astrologer, do tarot. Great time to make it real. Now, Mars retrograde, really it's not the best time to start divorce proceedings or an argument or a fight or a court situation. When it's retrograde in your 12th, this is a wonderful time just for quiet time, time out, time just to chill a little and just to be peaceful and to observe your life more, to observe how things are working, what is, what isn't. And then it's going to go retrograde in your 11th house. So time to observe your friendships, your social life, the people around you. Is it complementary for you? What kind of might need to change? And then after June the 30th, then you're moving forward on all cylinders and off you can go into new friendships and new projects. But whilst Mars is retrograde, this is not the best time for starting new activities, but it is a good time for repairing, refining existing activities. It's also not the best time to buy anything mechanical. Mars rules anything with lots of moving parts, and it likes to go forwards. See, it points upwards and forwards. It's one directional, and it certainly doesn't like to go backwards. So I've often seen people buy appliances and they just don't function at all during, if they're bought during that Mercury retrograde. Mars retrograde, sorry. Also try not to have surgery during that time, elective surgery. If you can choose, try not to have it. Of course, if you have to have it, that's another matter. Between May and October, we've got a square aspect happening between Saturn and Neptune. Now, a square aspect is always a certain dissonance, a certain discomfort, because we've got two very different energies, especially the energy of Saturn, your ruler, which wants structure and a plan and something to work towards, and Neptune, which hates boundaries, hates plan, and hates structures. So what I would say is it's about finding the balance between that which you're dreaming of and loving and also your responsibilities, things that just need to be done. But where are you living? You know, which bit are you living too much in? Are you living possibly, I would think Capricorns, too much in having to be dutiful and pay attention to responsibility and not allowing yourself these dreams and to be freer and to be more fluid? So with this aspect, I'd say if things are not working and you're pushing them, let go. I often find if I'm trying to reach a person and I've tried 3 times, I stop if it doesn't happen. Maybe it's not meant to happen that day or that month. So it's about this flowing energy of these eclipses and everything in this mutable energy, because Saturn and Neptune in mutable signs, to just go with the flow of the wind. If the wind is going southwest, don't go northeast. Yes, don't push against it, and then you'll find you'll have wings and you'll fly a really long distance this year, because the energies are very uplifting. Between June and July, we've got a trine aspect happening between Jupiter and Pluto. Ooh, are these powerful planets, Jupiter and Pluto. And when they come together in a beautiful benign aspect like this, like for example Warren Buffett and Warren Buffett and Bill Gates both have this aspect conjunct in their charts. Of course, they've made a big impact on this world. And here, this is a fortunate aspect. For you, it could be a journey, a trip, somebody from overseas having a very powerful influence on you. There could be just some good news. It could be a big leap forward in your spiritual progress. Maybe you'll make an international connection that could be really powerful and wonderful for you. But it's very positive. On September the 1st, we've got a new moon solar eclipse in Virgo happening over here, joining Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is in this 9th house until September the 9th. So this is wonderful for you this year, Capricorns, for travel. If you want to travel, if you want to go off to new places, maybe even make a home in a new place or a second home somewhere, this is perfect timing for it. It's wonderful for developing international contacts. It's wonderful for your spirituality, new people, new possibilities. Also wonderful for any kind of higher education and higher learning. September the 10th, Jupiter moves into your 10th house and is going to be there for 1 year and 1 month until October the 10th of 2017. So Jupiter is the planet of good fortune, good luck, abundance, and it's in your 10th house, Capricorn, so this could bring you some new opportunities in your career. Maybe you'll take it in a whole new direction. Maybe you'll expand what you already have. But it brings you new opportunities and new wonderful possibilities in your career house. And on September the 16th, we've got a full moon lunar eclipse happening down here in the 3rd house. So we had a beginning in March. Something that began in March may complete or come to fruition or have a next step to it in September. And this could well be something to do with your networking contacts. Maybe you have something published, or you appear somewhere, or you just have a wider network of people and a wider influence, and you become more successful from that, and you also have more enjoyment from that as well. So that could be really rather exciting for you. And finally, in December, we've got a wonderful aspect, a glorious trine between Saturn and Uranus. So Saturn and Uranus trine here, this can mean that something you've been working on comes to fruition, maybe something to do with your home, something to do with your family, just something really rather positive can happen during that time. I'm very aware that I've not mentioned much about relationships. However, Pluto in your 1st automatically means that things have been and are happening in your relationships. Many of you have had endings, completions, deep karmic relationships, and I think that that will continue, and the main thing is to make sure that you're getting your needs met in the relationship, and you're also allowing yourself to change within a relationship and not having to have it be too fixed and too planned out. Don't plan things too much this year, Capricorns, because they're going to change. If you can live with that, this year will be a wonderful year for you. So there you have it. I wish you a wonderful year ahead. If you'd like to come to me and have me look at in depth at your chart, at what this year holds for you, of course I'd be delighted to hear from you. And I really want to take this opportunity to thank so many of you for emailing me, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and really for following me. And I'm so grateful to you. I'm so appreciative, and I'm sending you much love. Have a wonderful year. Bye for now.